Hello! Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to talk about Article 8 of the Revised Penal Code. So, wala lang keme-keme, let's go directly to Article 8. So Article 8 talks about conspiracy and proposal to commit felony. So conspiracy and proposal to commit felony are punishable only in cases in which the law specially provides a penalty therefor. So a conspiracy exists when two or more persons come to an agreement concerning the commission of a felony and decide to commit it. While there is a proposal when the person who has decided to commit a felony presupposes its execution to some other person or persons. So in this provision, we need to understand, of course, first the important phrases and words which are used in this article. So the first one is conspiracy and proposal to commit felony. So we need to know that conspiracy and proposal to commit felony are two different acts. So the first act is conspiracy and the second one is proposal. And then the second phrase that we need to understand is only in the cases in which the law specially provides a penalty therefor. So unless there is a specific provision in the RPC providing a penalty for conspiracy or proposal to commit felony, mere conspiracy or proposal is not a felony. So the general rule in this provision is that conspiracy and proposal to commit felony are not punishable. So that is the general rule. And the exemption is that they are punishable only in the cases in which the law specially provides a penalty therefor. So again, the general rule is
hindi punishable yung mga acts which is a conspiracy and proposal to commit a felony na. Exemption nun is yung mga cases na dinefine talaga under the revised penal code,
wherein a mere proposal and conspiracy to commit that kind of crime is already punishable. So in that case, even though
proposal lang at saka conspiracy, so punishable pa rin siya.
So reason for that rule, so the reason is that conspiracy and proposal is just a mere preparatory acts, and the law regards them as innocent or at least permissible, except again in rare and exceptional
cases. So, diba? So, bakit hindi siya papantay? Bakit hindi siya punishable? It is because conspiracy and proposal is preparatory acts lang siya, in preparation lang siya sa pag-commit ng felonious acts. So, ganun. So, kaya hindi siya punishable.
So now let us focus first our discussion about conspiracy. So what is conspiracy? So conspiracy is defined under this provision in the second paragraph. So let's read it. So conspiracy exists when two or more persons come to an agreement concerning the commission of a felony and decide to commit it. So that is the meaning of conspiracy. When there are a group of people or two of you come to an agreement.
So, nag-agree kayo na mag-commit kayo ng ganitong acts, ganun-ganun. So, ako dito, tapos ikaw doon, and in order to accomplish one objective, ganun-ganun yung conspiracy. So, nag-agree kayo for an achievement of a one objective. Parang ganun.
So generally, again, so the general rule, ulit. So conspiracy is not a crime except when the law specially provides a penalty therefor, as in the case of treason, rebellion, sedition.
Yeah. So sa cases ng treason, rebellion, or sedition, yun, punishable yun. Even if the act is a preparatory act lang, yung conspiracy and proposal to commit felony. Like, wala pang treason na nagaganap, yung nagpaplano pa. So, punishable yun. It is defined under Article 115, 136, and 141.
So, under this crime, which we will discuss in our future video, so the treason, kudita, rebellion, or sedition should not be actually committed. So, the conspirators should not actually commit treason, kudita, rebellion, or sedition. So, it is sufficient that two or more persons agree and decide to commit treason, rebellion, or sedition. So, if say they commit treason, they will be held liable for treason, hindi na conspiracy to commit treason. So, and the conspiracy in which they had before committing treason is only a manner of incurring criminal liability.
So, it is not a separate offense. So, isang offense lang yun, isang punishment lang yun. So, kahit na nag-conspire sila to commit treason, pero nagawa na yung treason, so yung punishment nila is under the punishment, under the treason. Hindi siya separate offense. Okay?
So let's have an illustration for that. So for example, X, Y, and Z were planning to rob A, which is a balikbayan.
Charot! Mayaman, fresh from the country of Kagala.
So during their planning session, they were overheard by B, which is a helper of C. And then B informed a police officer. So nagsumbong si B, chekadora siya besh. So B informed the police officer, who then installed a police checkpoint near the house of A. So when the car used by X, Y, and Z approached the checkpoint, there was an inspection and their firearms were discovered. So they were arrested and the police filed a case for conspiracy to commit robbery. So the question is, are they criminally again, and the question is, are they criminally liable of conspiracy to commit robbery? So the answer is no. Why? Because again, mere conspiracy to commit robbery is not a crime and the act is not punishable. Kasi
conspiracy is preparatory lang ng pag-commit nila ng robbery. So therefore, there was no actually an overt act which was done. So meaning walang crime na na-commit.
So that is why it's not punishable. And also, it's not also robbery. The crime of robbery does not also belong to those crimes which the revised penal code especially gives a punishment for conspiracy and proposal.
So kaya, hindi sila liable ng conspiracy to commit robbery.
So now, let us go back to my previous example. I mean,
yung sinabi ko kanina, which is about treason, yung mga ganon, yung kulita, yung rebellion. Diba sinabi ko, hindi a separate offense. If na-commit na yung rebellion, hindi separate offense yung conspiracy and proposal to commit felony. So now, let us distinguish conspiracy as a felony from conspiracy as a matter of incurring criminal liability.
so when the conspiracy relates to a crime actually committed, it is not a felony, but only a manner of incurring criminal liability. That is, where there is conspiracy, the act of one is the act of all.
Sabot o sabot dahil?
So, ang ibig sabihin nito is that, if yung conspiracy, hindi na siya conspiracy kasi na-commit na siya, di ba? So, tapos na yung conspiracy, na-commit na yung crime. So, if there is a conspiracy in committing the crime, again, na-commit na yung crime, di ba? Na-commit na siya, paulit-ulit. So, ang conspiracy nun, hindi na siya felony. Again, if na-commit na yung crime, yung conspiracy is not a felony. But, the conspiracy there is just a mode of incurring criminal liability. So, what is incurring criminal liability? It means kung ano yung punishment mo. So, yung conspiracy doon is gagamitin na lang yun para sa punishment na makukuha mo, which is the punishment of one is the punishment of all. So, for example, in a case of robbery, so, yung ikaw, nagbabantay ka sa labas, diba? Kasi baka may mga pulis na papasok, and yung mga kasabwat mo, kumukuha na ng pera, ganun-ganun, tinatakot na yung mga hostage, kung may hostage situation. So, for example lang yun. So, even though yung act mo is nagbantay ka lang doon, yung crime na robbery is mapapataw siya sa inyong lahat because you are conspirators, yeah. Because you work together in order to achieve a desired objective or a desired goal, which is to rob yung, which is yung kumuha ka ng pera. So, So, ganon, yung conspiracy doon, hindi na siya felony. Yung felony doon is yung robbery na. Yung conspiracy, gagamitin na lang siya as a mode of incurring criminal liability. So, kung ano yung punishment ng isa, is punishment ng lahat. So, for example, kung isa nakapatay siya in the mode of committing, in the process of committing robbery, nakapatay siya, di ba? So, yung punishment niya is punishment mo rin kasi nga, ano kayo? Yung group kayo ba? Sa tawag one for all or all for one. So, ganun. So, yung punishment ng isa, punishment ng lahat. Yun. Pero kapag hindi pa na-commit yung crime, which is treason, so dun lang masasabi na ang conspiracy is a felony. So, ganun.
So, ang ibig sabihin lang doon is yung conspiracy, yung act nyo na pagko-conspire, hindi siya magiging separate offense.
No? So, when conspiracy is a manner of incurring criminal liability is not punishable as a separate offense. So, let's read some illustration found in the book of Luis D. Reyes. So, illustration of conspiracy as felony and as a manner of incurring criminal liability. So, number 1. A and B agreed and decided to rise publicly and take arms against the government with the help of their followers. Even if they did not carry out their plan to overthrow the government, A and B are liable for conspiracy to commit rebellion under Article 136 of the RPC. But if A and B and their followers did rise publicly and take arms against the government to overthrow it, thereby committing rebellion, their conspiracy is not a felony. They are liable for rebellion, and their conspiracy is only a manner of incurring criminal liability for rebellion. So, this is another illustration, yung explanation ko kanina, no? So, another one is A, B, and C, after having conceived a criminal plan, got together, agreed, and decided to kill D. So, if A, B, and C failed to carry out the plan for some reason or another, they are not liable for having conspired against D, because the crime they conspired to commit, which is murder, is not treason, rebellion, or sedition.
Again, kung ang crime is hindi siya specifically na-provide under the RPC, so conspiracy, hindi siya punishment doon. Hindi siya magiging punishment. So,
if they carried out the plan and personally took part in its execution, which resulted in the killing of D, they are liable for murder. Even if A merely acted as guard outside the house where D was killed and B merely held the arms of D when C stabbed him to death, their conspiracy is only a manner of incurring criminal liability for murder. It is not an offense, not only because a crime was committed after the conspiracy, but also because conspiracy to commit murder is not punished in RPC. Now let's talk about indications of conspiracy.
Indications, which means paano mo masasabi na nag-conspire sila, paano mo masasabi na conspirator sila, paano mo masasabi na kaberk sila sa pag-commit ng crimes, ganun.
So, I will just read the example given in the book. Kasi hindi ko to memorize, sorry na. So, first one, under the case of People versus Geronimo. So, when the defendants by their acts aim at the same object, one performing one part and the other performing another part so as to complete it with a view to the attainment of the same object, and their acts, through apparently independent, were in fact concerted and cooperation, indicating closeness of personal association, concerted action, and concurrence of sentiments, the court will be justified in concluding that said defendants were engaged in a conspiracy. Guess?
It means when the people aim in one objective. Sinabi ko na yun, paulit-ulit. If yung mga tao, they aim for one objective and each of them has a specific act in order to accomplish one objective. So, for example, guardia ka, so, dito ka, ito yung assign sa'yo, ganun. So, pag ganun yung situation, indication yun na conspiracy, nag-conspire sila, nag-divide sila ng mga tasks in order to achieve their common goal.
So the next example is under the case of People versus Cantuba. Thus, an accused has been hailed as a co-conspirators as the circumstances of his participation indubitably showed unity of purpose and unity in the execution of the unlawful acts gleaned from that fact that he knew of the plot to assassinate the victim, as he too had been ordered to scout for a man who could do the job. He also knew exactly the place where the killing was to take place and also the date and approximate time of the accused. So, ang ibig sabihin lang ng case na yon is, masasabi mo na may conspiracy when there is unity. So, one for all for one. Ganon, for pop girls. So again, if they are united for a specific objective, they are conspirators. Ganun lang. So let us proceed to the next case, which is People versus Hernandez. So for a collective responsibility among the accused to be established, it is sufficient that at the time of the aggression, all of them acted in concert, each doing his part to fulfill their common design to kill their victim. And although only one of them may have actually stabbed the victim, the act of that one is deemed to be the act of all. So, ayun, paulit-ulit na yung example na ito. So, even though hindi ikaw yung sumaksak, but you were just there standing as a guard, so you are still liable for the punishment of that person because you are conspirators, co-conspirators, and you conspired to commit that felonious act. So, kaya yung punishment mo, one for all for one din. So, the punishment of one is the punishment of all. Okay, now let's go to the acts of the defendants must show a common design. So, it is a fundamental for conspiracy to exist that there must be unity of purpose and unity in the execution of unlawful objective. Kasi paano kayo magkakam into an agreement kung wala kayong meeting of minds, kung wala kayong unity sa pinagagawa nyo dahil kung iba't iba yung objective nyo sa buhay. So, dapat fundamental yon sa conspiracy na may unity. So here, appellants did not act with unity for purpose. Even assuming that the appellants have joined together in the killing, such circumstances alone do not satisfy the requirements of a conspiracy because the rule is that neither joint nor simultaneous action is per se sufficient proof of conspiracy. It must be shown to exist as clearly and convincingly as the commission of the offense itself. So obedience to a command does not necessarily show concert of design, for at any rate it is the acts of the conspirators that show their common design. So although the defendants are relative and had acted with some degree of simultaneity in attacking their victim, nevertheless, this fact alone does not prove conspiracy. So this is under the case of People versus Dorico. So again, fundamental for conspiracy is that there exists unity for the purpose and design to get that objective there. One for all for one. Ganun. So the Supreme Court also ruled that mere companionship does not establish conspiracy. So it doesn't mean na magkaibigan kayo or family kayo or related kayo, tapos magkasama kayo na sinaksak yung victim. It doesn't mean that you are already a conspirators, co-conspirators, no? So a relationship, companionship does not establish conspiracy. So conspiracy also is not a product of negligence, but of intention on the part of the conspirators. So there could be no conspiracy through negligence or reckless imprudence. Meron bang conspiracy ng negligence? Wala, be. Kasi yung conspiracy, intention yon, yung intent nyo to commit ay felonious act. So, walang conspiracy, which is a product of negligence. Ano ba? So, ganun. Now, let us proceed to period of time to afford opportunity for meditation and reflection not required in conspiracy. So, unlike in evident premeditation, where a sufficient period of time must elapse to afford full opportunity for meditation and reflection and for the perpetrator to deliberate on the consequences of his intended deed, this is based on the case of US versus Jill. So conspiracy arises on the very instant the plotters agree expressly or impliedly to commit the felony and forthwith decide to pursue it. Once this assent is established, each and every one of the conspirators is made criminally liable for the crime committed by any one of them. This is based on the case of People versus Monroy. So the cases I mentioned in this video will be put down under the description box. So, in this case, so the moment na nag-start kayong mag-agree, the moment na nag-start kayong magplano, at nag-agree kayo, yes, go for it, in accomplishing a felonious act, that moment, you are already conspiring. So, yun lang yung ibig sabihin na example na yun. So, now let us proceed to the requisites of conspiracy.
So basically, yung requisites, makikita mo lang siya sa second paragraph. Ikaw na yung bahala na magsabot? Ikaw na bahala maghiwalay-hiwalay dun sa mga requisites dun. It is found under this article's second paragraph, under the meaning of conspiracy.
So, anyway, there are 3 requisites of conspiracy. So, number 1, that 2 or more persons came to an agreement. So, this is the first element. So, agreement presupposes meetings of mind of 2 or more persons. So, meaning, may mga tao na nag-agree. So, parehas sila ng iniisip. There is a meeting of minds. Yes, so agreement. So, yun yung first element, requisites ng conspiracy. The second element is that the agreement concerned the commission of a felony. So the agreement must refer to the commission of a crime. It must be an agreement to act, to effect, to bring about what has already been conceived and determined. So in this element, excuse me. So under this element, dapat yung kino-conspire nyo is a felonious act, no? Hindi yung nag-conspire kayo na paano mo mapaibig yung crush mo, ganun. Hindi naman yun felonious act. So, ganun. So, hindi yun example ng conspiracy. So, again, yung second requisite is dapat felonious act. Hindi yung ano-anong kino-conspire nyo. So, the third element is that the execution of the felony be decided upon. So, the conspirators have made up their minds to commit the crime. So, there must be a determination to commit the crime of treason, rebellion, or sedition. So, under this element, hindi lang yung plano lang kayo. Tama na kayo sa plano. Hanggang plano lang. So, dapat may determination din kayo na i-execute or i-implement kung ano yung pinaplano nyo. Ganun. This is the third element. So that's all. So, that's all the element under the conspiracy. Hindi pa tapos, be. Now, let's go to, yes, direct proof is not essential to establish conspiracy. So, direct proof is not essential to establish a conspiracy. Ulit-ulit. And may be inferred from the collective acts of the accused before, during, and after the commission of a crime. So, conspiracy can be presumed from and proven by acts of the accused themselves when the said acts points to a joint purpose and design, concerted actions, and community of interest. So, it's not necessary to show that all the conspirators actually hit and killed the victim. Conspiracy renders all the conspirators as co-principals, regardless to the extent and character to their participation, because in contemplation of law, the act of one conspirator is the act of all. Ilang beses ko na bang inulit yun? So, this is based on the case of People versus Buntag. So for example, nakita mo silang tatlo na binubugbog yung binubugbog yung crush mo kasi hindi ka crush. So, binubugbog ng mga friends mo, ganun. So, it's not sufficient na silang tatlo, nakita mo sila na binubugbog. It's not sufficient na masasabi mo na nag-conspire sila. So, quantum of proof required to establish conspiracy. Quantum of proof. Ano yun? Meaning, conspiracy must be proven beyond reasonable doubt. So, settled is the rule that to establish conspiracy, evidence of actual cooperation rather than mere cognizance or approval of an illegal act is required. So, a conspiracy must be established by positive and conclusive evidence. it must be shown to exist as merely as and convincingly as the commission of the crime itself. So mere presence of a person at the scene of the crime does not make him conspirator, for conspiracy transcends companionship. Yeah. Ulit-ulit na. So meaning, para ma-prove mo yung conspiracy, kailangan mo na proof beyond reasonable doubt. Ganon. So, now, let's go to... Ayan, tapos na. There you go. We are done discussing conspiracy. Haba-haba ng discussion. Now, let us proceed to proposal. So, the definition of proposal is also defined under this article on the last paragraph. So, I'm gonna read it. So, there is proposal when the person who has decided to commit a felony presupposes the execution to some other person or persons. So, let's go directly to the requisites of proposal. So, the first one, so there are only two requisites. So, the first one is that the person has decided to commit a felony, and the second one, that he proposes its execution to some other persons or persons. So what is the difference between proposal and conspiracy? So, yung difference nila is, sa conspiracy kasi, kayong lahat, there is a meeting of minds of all the people concerned sa agreement na yon. So, ikaw, payag ka. Lahat kayo, payag kayo. I mean, there is unity and yung may cooperation na gagawin nyo to for that specific objective, ganon. Ganon yung conspiracy. So, kayong lahat yung nag-decide, kayong lahat yung nagplano, kayong lahat yung nag-agree. So, that is conspiracy. While in proposal, isang tao lang. Isang tao yung nag-decide na i-commit yung crime. So, for example, A. So, si A, nag-isip siya na, ganito yung gusto ko, ganito yung gawin ko sa kanya. May plano na siya kung paano niya i-commit ang crime. Tapos si A, nag-propose siya sa mga group of people or other people about his plan. So parang ganun. So nag-propose siya sa kanyang naisip na felonious act. So that is the difference between proposal and felony. So example nun, illustration is that when you have your thesis defense, 'di ba? Kayo ng groupmate, ikaw na nagde-defense or kayo ng groupmates nyo, is nagplano kayo, nag-decide kayo na ganito, ganun. Tapos you convince yung mga panel, yung mga teachers nyo na, ma'am, maganda to, ganun, ganun. So, that is a proposal. So, parang ikaw yung nagplano, ganito, gusto mong gawin. Tapos, nag-propose ka sa group of people or a person. And then, yung conspiracy is parang kayo ng ka-thesis mate nyo. Yung parang kayo mismo yung nagplano, kayo mismo yung nag-agree, ganun-ganon. So, example lang yun ha. So that is the difference between conspiracy and proposal. So, let's continue the discussion about proposal. So there is no criminal proposal when. So, walang proposal when, number one, the person who proposes is not determined to commit a felony.
So, parang nag-propose ka ng felonious act, tapos parang ayaw mong gawin. So, walang proposal nun. So, dapat ikaw mismo, you are determined to do that thing. Okay?
So, for example, A desires that the present government be overthrown, but A is afraid to do it himself with others. A then suggests the overthrowing of the government to some desperate people who will do it at the slightest provocation. So in this case, A is not liable for proposal to commit rebellion because A has not decided to commit it. So dapat, pag nag-propose ka, determine ka na gawin yon, yung parang may guts ka ba? So kung wala kang ganun, so you're not liable of a proposal kasi you're just merely giving a suggestion or hindi ka naman nagpro-propose ng ganun. Kapag ikaw mismo sa self mo, you're not determined about what you're planning to do. Takot ka ba? Kasi alam mo, felonious act yung ginagawa mo, tapos nagplano-plano ka. Ganun. So, walang proposal doon. So, hindi ka liable ng proposal to commit felony. So, the second one is, there is no decided, concrete, and formal proposal. So in the previous example, no? Note that there was merely a suggestion. Yeah, yung sinabi ko, suggestion lang yon, hindi siya proposal. So, not a decided, concrete, and formal proposal. So, kung walang plano, so, example, kung wala kang plano, walang exact, walang, ganun, walang formal hindi ka decided, hindi ka determined, so hindi ka liable ng proposal. Naintindihan nyo ba? Tindihin nyo na lang. And the last one is that it is not the execution of felony that is proposed. So, for example, A conceived the idea of overthrowing the present government. A called several of his trusted followers and instructed them to go around the country and secretly to organize groups and to convince them of the necessity of having a new government. So note that what A proposed in this crime is not the execution of the crime of rebellion, but the performance of preparatory acts for the commission of rebellion. Therefore, there is no criminal proposal. So, dapat yung ipropose mo, this is on the second requisite sa proposal, which is proposals to execute. So, dapat yung ipropose mo is execution of acts, hindi yung idea lang yung ipropose mo, tapos sila na yung magpaplano. No, you're not liable for proposal to commit felony if that is the situation. So we have a example problem here. So if the proponents of rebellion desist before any rebellious act is actually performed by the would-be material executors, inform the authorities and aid in the arrest of their fellow plotters should the proponents be exempt. So in this example, ibig sabihin, if may mga tao na nagpaplano ng rebellion, then one of them deceased. So one of them is sumuko at nag-confess na nagplano sila ng ganito, ganon, at nakikooperate siya sa mga authorities para hulihin yung mga co-conspirators niya, ganon. So, the question is, yung taong nagsumbong ba, exempted ba siya? So, the answer is, it should be exempt from the penalties provided in criminal proposals and conspiracy, for the law would rather prevent than punish crime, and encouragement should be given to those who hearken to the voice of conscience. So,
Yes, exempted siya kasi yung law natin, it aims to prevent, hindi naman siya na-aim na mag-punish, at it should be given doon sa mga tao na, nakukonsent siya, kaya sumuko na lang, so he will be exempted, but may exemption din yun. But
if the rebellion is nagawa na, then sumuko sila, so hindi na sila magiging criminally exempted kasi nagawa na yung rebellion, diba? So, ano pa yung ipi-prevent? Parang ganun. So, next one. So, it is not necessary that a person to whom the proposal is made agrees to commit treason or rebellion. So, note that what constitutes the felony of proposal to commit treason or rebellion is the making of proposal. So, the law does not require that the proposal be accepted by the person to whom the proposal is made. So, if it is accepted, it may be conspiracy to commit treason or rebellion because there would be an agreement and decision to commit. So, hindi na necessary na pag nag-propose kayo, i-accept nila. So, hindi necessary yun. Kasi, kapag in-accept nila agad-agad, so, it would become a conspiracy, no? So, hindi necessary na dapat nila tanggapin yung proposal mo. So, may question ako. Diba sa general rule, hindi punishable yung conspiracy and proposal to commit felony unless it is specifically provided under the RPC. So, for example, conspiracy to commit robbery. Hindi yun punishable kasi hindi naman siya specifically na nandun sa RPC na pag nag-conspire ka to commit robbery, punishable na siya. So, hindi siya punishable. So, the reason for that is it is just a preparatory act, di ba? Kasi wala pang overt acts na nagaganap. That's why it's not punishable. But in cases of treason, sedition, kudita, rebellion, yung mga ganun na specifically provided under the RPC, yung conspiracy and proposal nila, hindi rin naman overt act, diba? Wala pa namang act na nagaganap. It is also a preparatory act. So, bakit sila punishable? Bakit yung robbery hindi? So, I was thinking, dun sa criminal 2 namin, it talks about the different crimes which is penalized under the RPC and the punishment of that crime. So, we talk about treason, ganun. So, sa naalala ko is that punishable yung conspiracy to commit yung mga treason, ganon. It is because, hihintayin mo pa ba na makomit nila yung treason, sedition, para mapunishable sila? So, parang ganon. Then, I was thinking na, bakit? Hihintayin mo pa ba na makomit yung robbery? Kaya hindi mo papunishan yung nag-conspire? So, to clear up our minds about that, question or inquiry. So, nakita ko na po yung sagot. So, kaya hindi pinapanisyan yung robbery kasi, sa pagkakaintindi ko lang, no? Kasi yung mga acts na yun is private or personal. So, sa mga each individuals lang. Well, yung treason, yung ganun, sa state kasi yun, no, crimes against security. So, the crimes in which conspiracy and proposal are punishable against the security of the state or economic security. Kaya punishable yung treason, sedition, ganon, it is because it is against the security of the state or the economic security. So, treason is against the external security, while coup d'etat, rebellion, and sedition is against the internal security, while monopolies and combination in restraint of trades are against economic security. So, yun yung reason. Kasi yung mga personal crimes, hindi naman against the state yun. So, kaya pinapunish yung conspiracy, which is against the security of the state. Kasi hintayin pa ba na gawin nila para punishable. So, mere preparation pa lang of that act, it is already punishable. Yun. So, the reason why the conspiracy and proposal to commit a crime is punishable in crimes against external and internal security of the state is that in ordinary crimes such as, ganun nga, yung robbery, yung murders, so yung crimes against persons, yung mga ganun, or mga individual crimes. So, the state survives the victim, and the culprit cannot find in the success of his work any impunity. Whereas, in crimes against external and internal security of the state, if the culprit succeeds, no, in his criminal enterprise, he would obtain the power and therefore impunity for the crime committed. So, kaya punishable yung treason kahit preparatory acts pa lang, kahit conspiracy and proposal pa lang. So, that is the reason why it is punishable. Why is it that conspiracy and proposal to commit treason, sedition, rebellion is punishable? Because it is against the security and state. And if masucceed yun, diba? If successful yun, so they will obtain the power and therefore impunity for the crime committed. So that ends my video. I hope you learned something about conspiracy and proposal to commit felony. Thank you so much for watching.